Welcome to the second class of this training series on Cybersecurity Foundation. So our main objective today is taking a look at the fundamental of Linux operating system and why it's critical in cybersecurity. Then we distinguish between the common Linux distribution, such as the Ubuntu, the Kali Linux, the Parrot OS, and then we highlight their specific roles. Then we will do some navigation through the Linux file system using terminal and understanding the hierarchy. It's a hierarchy structure. So we are going to execute key Linux command, then managing files in directories and system navigations. We develop some fundamental Linux key essential for operating system tools and performing some system diagnostics. So the introduction. What is Linux? Linux is a free and open source operating system that acts as an interface between computer hardware and user. It's based on the Unix architecture and it is known for its performance, security, and versatility. Unlike commercial operating systems like the Microsoft Windows or Mac OS, Linux is community-driven and can be modified and redistributed by anyone under the GNU General Public License. So Linux consists of some three main components, which is the kernel, the core that runs Linux, the shell, which is the command interpreter that you use to interact with the kernel directly, then the file system that organizes the file into hierarchy from the root directory to home directory, then to users directory and the rest of it. Then why Linux is important for cybersecurity? Linux plays a vital role in cybersecurity due to some several key advantages. One, it is open source architecture that enables experts to audit. Oh, please excuse me. Let me kind of increase. Okay, so I think it's visible now. Open source architecture which enable experts to audit and customize the system, which enhance security. Then it is security focused. This true as I told you guys in our previous class that it has the pre-installed tools ready for you to use. So unlike other operating systems where you need to install all those cybersecurity tools and ethical hacking tools, Linux distro and Kali Linux is kind of security focused. Then command line interface. Most advanced security tools run efficiently on Linux terminal. System control. Linux gives user root administrator access to control system behavior, permissions, and user access. So even without activating the administrative login details and the rest of it, you have administrative privilege to execute your script and the rest of it. Unlike Windows, which you have to activate the administrative login before you are able to have some administrative privilege. So tools compatibility. Many cybersecurity tools like the Nmap, the Metasploit, the Wireshark, and a lot more, they are compatible with Linux operating system. So because of these reasons, Linux is the standard OS for cybersecurity professional, ethical hackers, digital forensics analysts, and system administrators. So we have different Linux distro. We have the Ubuntu, we have the Parrot OS, and a lot out there. So the Ubuntu OS is general purpose system, basically used for server, for hosting web applications and the rest of it. Then Ubuntu is one of the most popular Linux distro. It is user-friendly, stable, widely used in both personal and professional environments. Features, it is designed for ease of use. So if you look at the Ubuntu kind of interface, you see that you can actually navigate your way through it. Good. Strong community support and documentation, good for daily use and as base OS for learning Linux. So if you're a beginner, Ubuntu is basically friendly and you can navigate your way through it easily. So we have the Kali Linux, which we are going to use for all our training series. In the previous class, we demonstrate how we can install Kali Linux on VirtualBox, which I told you guys that you can also install the Kali Linux on VMware Workplace Station if you want to install it there. If you know you can't go with the VirtualBox but I love VirtualBox because it's open source and it's free. So I think you should go with that. All you need to do is you download your VM machine, which is the VirtualBox, and then you download your Kali Linux iOS from the official website. Then you install it. So the purpose of using Kali Linux is for offensive security, and pen testers use Kali Linux, ethical hackers use Kali Linux, and then Kali Linux is a Debian-based distribution specifically built for digital forensics and penetration testing, maintained by offensive security. It comes pre-installed with hundreds of cybersecurity tools, just as I told you earlier, the Metasploit, Bobsuit, Nmap, Wireshark, and the rest of it. Then you have root access by default, frequently updated for security tools compatibility, designed for expert, not ideal for daily use. So cybersecurity personnel, cybersecurity analysts and the rest, they use Kali Linux for their daily activities. So because most of the software they can be updated easily, just you type in sudo apt update, sudo apt upgrade, you have upgradables of the software there, and you can go with that. So we have another one, the Parrot OS. The Parrot OS is also Linux distribution. Then we say that the purpose is for privacy, penetration testing, secured communication. Then Parrot security is lightweight, alternative to Kali Linux. So if you cannot use Kali Linux, you can go with Parrot OS as well, built on Debian. It includes tools for penetration testing as well, and anomaly, and then secured development. So the future comes with Tor, because we are talking about privacy here. So Tor is a Tor browser is a kind of dark web browser. So if you have been hearing of dark web, the Tor, Onion Share, and the Anon Soft, these are dark web browsers and dark web engines which you use in the dark web. So if you want to browse through the dark web, basically this is what you'll be using. So the performance efficient is more efficient. As we said, it was lightweight, then ideal for laptop and that have limited resources. Unlike Kali Linux that, it requires a lot of resources. I told you, 8 gig RAM, minimum of 4 gig RAM. So we see if you have like a less or limited resources, you can go with the Parrot OS. So include some forensic tools and secured coding environment. So these are the kind of summary table, which is basically an explanation of what we just did. So I won't be going through it, just features, and then target users, focus, tutorial, pre-installs, resources usage, community support. You can see that community support is high, and then in both Ubuntu and Kali Linux, and then moderate for Parrot OS. So target for Ubuntu is for beginners. As I said earlier, that it is user friendly. The interface is okay. You can just go through, navigate your way through, even though you're a beginner. So, but Kali Linux is for experts, people that are going to cybersecurity, people that are going to pen testing, people that are going to web development, managing of server, system administrators, and the rest of it. So focus is for daily use. Ubuntu is for daily use, but Kali Linux is for hacking. The Parrot OS is for privacy by default, privacy and hacking. But you can configure your traffic and your everything to be private in Kali Linux also, but you need some configuration. So tools pre-installed. You don't have some tools pre-installed in Ubuntu, but most tools are installed in Kali Linux and Parrot OS. So Linux terminal navigation and file system structure. Terminal overview. You can see that the Linux terminal is a command line interface that lets you communicate directly with the operating system. Unlike the graphical user interface, which is the GUI, which we are so conversant with in our Windows operating system and the rest. So the terminal allows greater control, scripting, automation, and making it essential for cybersecurity operations. So instead of you clicking your icons and navigating your way through the graphical user interface, you just have to write some scripting commands, and then everything is ready for you to have at your fingertips just by little scripting. So advantage of using the terminal: faster execution. So instead of right-clicking, left-clicking, double-clicking, and the rest of it, with just a script or with just a command, it goes a long way of performing so many activities for you, basically based on what you want. So remote system access, which you can access through SSH with secure shell protocol, better resource efficiency. So The graphical user interface is already taking a lot of resources to giving you all this design and the rest of it. But the Kali Linux doesn't require all these things, so better for resource efficiency. So direct access to system logs, permissions, and processes. So you have direct access to those things. Unlike the GUI where you need to, navigate your way before you could have access to it. But with just some commands, you could have access to the syslog, and then the permission check out, and the permission is in a file. Then the processes that's running the system at that particular time. And processes are basically maybe the programs or everything that is executing in the system at that time. So we have some file system hierarchy. Starting from the root directory. This is a symbol for root directory. So anywhere you see this symbol in your terminal, like starting as a starting directory, means you are in the root directory. So if you see this as a starting directory in your terminal, it means you are in the root directory. So the root directory is the topest hierarchy, like is the topest hierarchy in Kali Linux distribution. Then we have the home. After the root directory, we have the home directory. We have the etc directory, where system configuration files are present. The home is for the user directory. So in case you created a user like Daniel, this user here, so you see that after your home directory, you have the list or the folders for the users, which is maybe Daniel or users or anything, depending on how many users you have on that system. Then we have the bin, which is essential for command binaries. SBin, which is essential for system administrative binary. The user bin, secondary hierarchy for user program. So basically all the user program, the shell and the rest of it, they are in this folder. And in Kali Linux, mostly everything's are files, from the processes to the softwares to your scripts. Basically, everything's are files. So the var folder or the var directory, which is for variable data, you can see your logs, your expose files, and the rest of it. The temp, as the name implies, temp is for temporary files. So the dev is for device file, like your USB, your hard drive. So anything that has to do with drivers, which kind of controls or check I kind of see it bridges the gap between the hardware and the software. So it interprets most of the things between the hardware and the software. So basically, those files are present in the dev directory. The procs directory controls the processes. All the processes in your system are being stored in that directory. So visual layout example. This is what we just discussed. I told you that the / here is just the root directory. So anytime you open your Kali Linux and you are here, it means you're in the root directory. So these are the directory that you see after the root directory. So it is in that hierarchy. So after your home folder or your home directory, you have the user folder. So depending on how many users are in the system, for now, you can see that we only have the student as a user in this particular system. So the rest follows like that. So the key Linux command. There are some basic key Linux command that you will have to get conversant with. So mastering this Linux command is very essential to you as a cybersecurity personnel or as a pen tester expert. The first one is the pwd, which prints the current working directory. So if you want to know the particular folder that you are currently working, all you need to do is to type the command pwd, and then it will show you your current working directory. Then we have the ls. The ls command is going to list the directories and the contents, including the folders, the files, and everything. Then it have some arguments. You can use ls/l, ls/a, ls/h for human readable form, ls/a -a, please, not slash, -a to list hidden files. dash H for human readable kind of format. And the rest of it, we have a lot of arguments which you can find in your help or your man page. Then CD, which is you are using it to change the directory. So if you CD home student, it means that you are going into the student folder. Then we have the mkdir, which you use it to create your new folder. So mkdir Cyberlab creates a folder called Cyberlab. Then the touch, which is used to create an empty file. So touch notes.txt creates a file called notes.txt. The rm is used to remove file or directory. So rm file.txt, rm dash r folder, then you remove that folder. Why we are using this r is in case we have some files in that folder, it will still get deleted. So it's just kind of telling the folder to delete telling the command to delete the folder even if it has some file included in it. So we have the cp, which is used to copy files. And cp, you kind of give the file to be copied, and then the path to copy the file to. So you cp, you give the path to the file, and then the path to that is going to be copied to. The mv, which is used to move or rename a file. So mv old.txt, new.txt, is going to rename that file. It's also used to move a file where you can just mv, you give the path of the file to be moved, and then you give the path of the file to be moved to. So we have the cat. The cat is just used to display file content. So cat notes.txt will just display the content of that file. Then we have the man page, as I said, is the manual or help for commands. And then if you use man, cat, man, ls, man, and touch, it will give you kind of help on how to navigate your way through that command. So this is the lab work which we are going to do practically now. And we are going to kind of open our terminal, then we cd into desktop, then we change, we create a new directory, which is a Cyberlab, and the rest. Welcome to the practical demo for class 2. So firstly, we are going to check our current working directory. As we said earlier, that we used pwd to check our current working directory. So you can see that right now we are in our Daniel Hackbox, which is the user's folder. So we can go back using cd cd to the. Okay, so this is the root directory. As I told you earlier, this slash here kind of give you an idea that you are in the root directory. So if I kind of check my current working directory now, you see what I have here. It tells me that I am in my root directory. So I'm going to clear my screen right now. So we cd into desktop using cd this. We check our current working directory. Then we are in the home directory. You can cd into our desktop. We don't have anything in our desktop. Use the clear command to clear your terminal. So we are going to create a file in our desktop. You can call the file file.txt. So create a file.txt. You can see I'm using the ls command as well. If you use the ls command only, you see that it's listing only the file that we just created, file.txt. But if you add some argument to the ls command, you can see that some pretty things will be displayed as well. So you can see that it displays the file size, the permissions of the files, the owner of the file, the group that the file belongs to, or the group that can have access to the file as well. So that is pretty much it. And then that is for this file only. For this file only, you can see it is zero kind of bytes because nothing is saved in the file. The file is empty. All these other ones are they are hidden files. They are hidden files. And this option A kind of is the reason why they are displayed here. The option A that we added to this ls command is why we have this hidden file display out here. So we have created the file. Let's create a folder. Let's create a folder in our desktop folder. Let's say make dir student folder. You can see, we list it again. You can see that we have the folder student. Then we also have the text file that we created earlier. So let's clear our screen. Let's see what we got here. So we are going to kind of go into our student folder. I told you use cd students. You can use your tab to complete. I'm in my student folder. From here, you can see the path that you are in, or you can just use pwd place, and then it will show you your current path as we have talked about earlier. So I'm going to clear my screen for now. So I'll go back to my desktop. Then I'll try to rename this folder from file.txt to student.txt. So we say we use move, the command move, to rename file. Move the old name of the file, file.txt. Then we give a new name of the file, student.txt. You can see the file has automatically been changed to student.txt. Then we can use another command to copy the file to another path. Let's say we want to copy this file, student.txt, into our student folder or our student directory. So we can simply use the command cp. If you want to check what is cp, it shows you that it's used to copy files and directory. Then the man page for cp is also available. You can see the options that you have, the cp-a, cp, then -b, and the rest of it. You can force it if it doesn't want to copy down there, force it to be copied, and the rest of it. So you should make use of the man page, or you make use of the help page to know the best method on how to use each of the command. Sometimes you might not be able to, have this command handy at your fingertips, but with the man and the help page, you can just go through the command. So let's clear our screen for now. Okay, so we were going to copy the student.txt into our student folder. So use cp, then the name of the file you want to copy, then the directory you want to copy it to. I'm copying it to students directory. I cannot create regular file. Okay. I think, let's see what we have there. Cannot create a regular file. This not a directory. Okay, let's try it again. Student.txt, and then so let's do this. Let's go to our student. Let's clear our screen. Let's go into our students cd, into our students now. Then let's list. You can see that inside our student directory, I've copied the file in here, print working directory, so we could see what we are doing. So you can see that right now you're in the desktop and you're in the student folder, and then this student.txt is here. With the help of cp, I can copy it. With the help of env, I can move files or change files name. So let's delete the file student.txt. This is the file student.txt. We are going to delete it. So with the help of rm, you can delete the student file, rm student.txt. You can see what rm does with going to our help, as we suggest. See that remove the file is used to remove file. You can clear the screen. What is rm? Used to remove files or directory. The same thing, man page for RM is also available. You can see the option is available in case a file is not deleted just by RM command. You can add all these options as well. So let's just try to delete our file. Remember, we are still in this directory. So, and we want to delete our student.txt file. So rm students.txt. Cannot remove student.txt file. No, that's just file does not exist. So I think we are making a mistake. Okay, so I've seen a mistake. We are spelling the students incorrectly. So rm students.txt. So we check, you can see that there's nothing in that folder again. So we try to list it again, there's nothing in the folder again. So let's see what we got in our practical manual. We have created an empty, you have copied a file, you have renamed it, and you have removed files, and then that's how we got. So your assignment. So this is your assignment. In your home directory, create the following structure. You create a folder called Cyberlab. Then inside that folder, you create another folder called projects. Then inside that folder called project, you create an nmap.txt file, then whois.txt file. Then you create another folder in your Cyberlab called logs. Then you create your file error.logs under the logs folder. So you use the terminal, just navigate your way through the terminal. You create using touch and create file using touch, then use the ls, the cd, the cp, and rm appropriately. So you're going to submit your screenshot or a terminal recording your actions. So your key takeaway in this course is Linux is a fundamental operating system for cybersecurity due to its openness, security tools, and customizability. Understanding the Linux terminal is essential for ethical hacking, scripting, and then system administration. Tools like Kali Linux and Parrot OS provide powerful built-in utilities for cybersecurity professionals. So I told you earlier that they already have those software installed for you to use. File system navigation and mastering terminal commands are the first step to becoming proficient in cybersecurity. So that will take us to the end of this kind of lesson for class 2. So thank you so much for watching to this level, and I hope to see you in others of our series or other of our class in this series. Thank you so much.